All right. Peace, power, and love. As always, in greeting. Um, she really wanted to jump on here. New Year's Eve. Their New Year's Eve, anyway. I'm a firm believer that New Year's, the actual New Year's, is in March. Um, just from the researching that I have done uh, over the past couple of so years, but I truly believe it's in March, and it makes more sense for our New Year's, how it was anyway, to be in March because that's when really the spring comes and things nature wise start to wake up, turn green, the weather starts warming back up. uh, but like I say, being spring, new beginning. And that's just what I, believe from what I have researched and found that, New Year's was actually in March. If y'all are liking the content, I appreciate you all who are subscribed to the channel. I appreciate those of you who are viewing the videos. Give me them thumbs up. Give me those subscriptions. I'm really ready to hopefully be able to get live on this platform. I have expressed a few times this is a little different format for me because of where I came from was an actual call-in show, and just having that ability to have call-in guests, which I had on many occasions, or just having supporters of the show call in and just speak on the subject that I was actually talking about, on that particular night. Just being able to have that dialogue, that back and forth, uh, I learned to appreciate that. And I do miss that, uh, that conversation. Uh, I do miss that camaraderie, that dialogue, like I say, because I can get on here and talk for hours on end. I'd rather be able to interact with my brothers and sisters, um, and we can build dialogue. Because really, what's needed, I was watching a brother that I follow here on the channel, Dane Calloway, and I'm this young man. I'm just gonna say it. He got it. He got it. He's got it right, and um, I am a avid follower of his research because he has brought a lot to the table. I can appreciate that, especially from the younger generation, and having a brother like Dane Calloway on the team is a win in my book. Um, we need more brothers out there who are not afraid to speak up, and tell the truth. But yeah, shout out to him and his platform. Um, I just through doing some research a few weeks ago, actually, and it just was another reason for me, anyway, not to celebrate their New Year's. Uh, I read, I can't remember, and that's something I think that I'm going to have to start doing, especially when I'm back here in the office, is jotting sources down where I get the information for those who are like me and don't wait for people to tell them stuff. They, you know, go and dig and find out things on their own. Uh, they read and do research, and it is a tedious process, but well worth it. And me myself, I just enjoy learning new things. So, uh, reading different articles and watching different documentaries, reading different books, it just expands your vision as well as your intellect. Um, and I think that this needs to be the year that we truly unite. We truly work towards unifying ourselves. Uh, Let me go on and throw it in. Like I always say, we need each other. I'm going to keep saying that because it'll sink in if I say it enough. Maybe some of us who are not on board will get the yearning to get on board. Uh, Another year has passed, in their world. And this year for us has been no different than any previous year uh, of late. We still saw police brutality against us. Uh, Continue. We once again saw that it really didn't matter if we were 9 to 90. We have always allowed them to position themselves to hold the top spot. And we allowed them all these years, we have allowed them to hold the top spots. Um, we have allowed them to continuously refuse us justice, equality, uh, without regard. We have allowed them to continue their genocide of us. We have allowed them to put fear in our children. Uh, our children. My last couple of videos, if you haven't watched them, go back and watch them. I just kind of touched on uh, our need to unify. We owe it to our children. We should give them the gift of unity, I think is what I named them. The first one, and then the second one's part two. I named it kind of different, but was on the same topic. Uh, I want us to understand moving forward, we can change our position. just like we have allowed them to hold this position for so long, we can reclaim that position because it is rightfully ours. See, this whole planet was ours in the beginning, and it shall be returned. But we've got to really be in preparation for that. And in 2023, we have yet to focus on us. I use this example time and time again because it is, to me, the most the most perfect example of just what a boycott can do, and just how powerful a boycott can be. 381. Keep that number in your head. It's 365 days in a year. 381. A little over a year. What, 16 days over a year. In just a little over a year, our ancestors gave us the blueprint of how to handle capitalism. Our dear brother, ancestor, Martin Luther King Jr. gave us the blueprint. Excuse me. Okay. He gave us the knowledge that we definitely need. And not only that, it is something that can still be used today. I just recently started back watching NFL. Everybody else was, with the boycott NFL emblems and stuff. I literally boycotted the NFL for 6 whole years. Right when the same year they I think that was in 2016. So about 7 years, I left football alone and loved football. Matter of fact, Colin Kaepernick played for the team that I would root for, that I rooted for, 49er fan. And when that happened, and especially with that being my team, it was just left a bad taste in my mouth. And not just with the 49ers, with the whole league, the way they handled it. And if you recall how they handled it, it's just like how they handle all black people that they allow to gain wealth in their organizations or in their field of work. Just like the actors, just like the singers, all the entertainers play a part in that secret society. And I'm here to say, I don't have the emails anymore because when I would get the messages, I would delete them. I wouldn't even respond to them. But on several occasions, my inbox has been DM'd by a few different people. They call themselves Brotherhood, Sisterhood of the Light. Illuminati means the enlightened one, but that's not what they represent. But they have approached me through messaging several times. You can meet with rich people. We can give you this and that, and they make you these promises. But see, some people soul ain't for sale. And they think that because we have never truly had that the first opportunity to have, we will jump on it without thought. And some of us would rather hold on to our integrity and self-worth, morals and values, as opposed to selling out their brothers and sisters. And I don't know if any of you, and I don't really keep up with a lot of these entertainers. I could care less what they go through, because they could care less about what we go through. So I don't really entertain that. No pun intended. But to me, entertainment is just that. It's something to keep you distracted from what's really happening, and to keep you from focusing on what they are doing. And they've been real good this year, just like they always are, with the distractions, but my whole thing is this. And like I say, I can appreciate the Dane Callaways that are on YouTube, the Willie Deeds, the Rashad Richies, the Philip Scotts, the Deborah Kays, the sister with the curly braids. I can't never think of her name. Vicky Dillard. The sister that fills in sometime for Dr. Rashad Richards, Sharon. I can't think of her last name, but people who go out of their way to bring you Gene Deal. He's another one that I follow. These are people that I follow because I respect their moral viewpoints on several subjects. We think alike. There have been some subjects that some of them have talked about I did not agree with, but that's nothing. That's something that we've got to learn to do too. We've got to learn how to agree to disagree and be in agreement with the disagreement and not be at odds. We need to be in agreement with the disagreement and keep things moving forward. 381 days. Montgomery bus boycott. 16 days over a year. And I've said this at the end of every year. I'll throw this out there a few times. Let's do a challenge that matters instead of these milk crate challenge, the tape your phone to the ceiling challenge, all these dance challenge. They know we can dance. They know we can sing. We've been entertaining these folks for years. We have been entertaining these folks for years. Now, is the time to do something different. Do something different to change the condition. Because now it's time to apply pressure. And proper pressure. I'm not talking about the type of pressure that will turn around and harm us and bite us in the butt. I'm talking about the type of pressure that will push us forward collectively and allow us to prosper. Excuse me, my dog back here. To move forward collectively and to move forward in a way that's beneficial. You know, a lot of times we move forward, but it's not beneficial. And what I mean by that is it's not long standing. I'm talking about something that is beneficial to us, something that we can pass down from our generation to the next, where we can get back what they stole from us, what they took from us. And in 2023, we have continued to pay taxes and continue to be denied representation. I want y'all to remember what this administration has and hasn't done. Because going into this new year, their new year, it's an election year this year. And what we can't continue to do is support those who don't support us. And Ain't Shit Joe and In Hyden Harris have not been supporters of those who were the most responsible for putting them in the positions that they hold right now. The important thing is that we put people in these positions, and starting with your local governments, and putting people in these positions who have an eye out for what's best for the people and not what's best for their pockets. Because right now we got politicians from the courthouses to the White House, and it's about nothing more than what they can put in their pockets. What can they gain as opposed to helping the people, as opposed to giving back to the people? So why do we continue to participate in this system? Why do we continue to pay taxes year in, year out? Then when you get your check, they tax it. Then whenever you go out and spend $1 from that check, they tax it. And then what do they do with it? What do they do with it? They give it to Ukraine. They give it to Israel. Because America has always been a war machine and always will be. I don't think that will ever change about this country and how it operates. Never for the people. Always for themselves. So, it comes a time when as people, we have to sometimes make the decisions and take the action necessary to do what needs to be done so that you can prosper, so that we can prosper and not have to be reliant upon a government that is not concerned about the citizens. never has been, and honestly never will be. It's had opportunity upon opportunity to make so many things that they did wrong right, but they never take those opportunities and they never do the right thing. Now, like I say, they could definitely do some reparations, some sort of reparations. And see, we need to have different goals and different plans so that we can effect a beneficial change in 2024. 381 days. Keep that number in your head. Is it not worth giving up a year of comfort and so-called necessities to change this system from the inside out? Because if we all, as black men and women and people who are tired of this system, remove ourselves from this system and stop participating in this system, within 1 year, we can be doing our own thing. We can redirect all of that money that we're giving back to this greedy, selfish system that's not going to take care of its citizens. We can start taking care of ourselves. 381 days, less than 1 year, could make all the difference in the world, could make the very difference in our survival. Think about that. It could make the very difference in your child, your grandchild, your great-grandchildren's existence. We have suffered enough. We have suffered up until now. And are we going to continue to do stupid challenges? And are we going to continue to give these platforms the talent and time that it takes for them to get billionaire rich while you get thousandaire rich? When what you do and produce and put out here should be yours. You should be getting paid in whole, not in part. But that's the way America works. Keep the rich rich and keep the poor wanting. Wanting for what they will never give. Not wanting for what you can't have, but wanting for what they will never give. We can have the desires of our heart, but we got to put in the time, effort, and action to accomplish it. Schools, grocery stores, hospitals, all of that. All of that. Our own communities, policed by our own people. We need that. Discipline. Discipline. In 2024, discipline. It didn't kill us. And my generation, I know, anybody that grew up in my generation in them 70s and 80s, you got that rod. That rod was never spared. And it doesn't do anything but make a child a better, respectable individual. Period, point blank. It's time for us to take back our most valuable possession. Because when we give them this knowledge, this intellect, this niggeruity, oh, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. When we take this weak generation and make them wise and strong, make them wiser, because they are already wise, but wise to the ways of the devil, these demons, and these schools who are miseducating and teaching them about everything except what they should know. When are we going to do the right thing? It ain't that much more time left, y'all. It might not even be a 2025. While some of us are already in plans for it, one of these days, one of these years ain't going to come up. It's going to come to a halt. The world the way we know it. Some of us don't even think about that. Some of us are not even thinking about that. Survival of the fittest. That's why I say it's time for us to start working together so we can survive, because we are the fittest. But in order to survive, we're going to have to work together, unify, plan, organize, unify. Like, my 3 keys. My 3 keys. I just came up with those. There's several, but those are just my 3 key things. Unification,